Hey everybody, this is Michael Bryson for This is Bodybuilding, and I am here this week with my special guest, IFBB Pro, Greg Ulysse. Greg, how you doing?
Very good, Mike. How's it going? How's it going in
Awesome.
Texas? How's Texas?
I love it so far. Other than the weather's been kind of crazy. We had some severe thunderstorms. There's probably another one that's going to happen today. And there was some sleet, like really big hail, I should say, big hail
Okay.
yesterday, like nickel-sized hail. But yeah, for the most part, I love it. I love Texas. It's nice. It's open. It's free. Where I live right now, and it's a suburb of Dallas called Rockwall, and I'm really close to this harbor and a lake, and I can look out the window and see this beautiful lake. It's really nice. Much different from being in New York and Queens, where I was for so many years. So it's a nice change.
Must be totally different from from being in New York.
Totally, and I love it. So I thought we would talk about the New York Pro that's coming up, do a little preview. We can do predictions too.
Okay, no problem. I'm down for it.
Yeah. You want to start with men's open?
You know what? Let's start with the open, man. Yeah, men's open, because that's the main event, if you call it that way. That's the main event, and that's probably the one that people are looking for. Even though I think 212 is pretty stacked.
212 is pretty stacked.
Yeah, because if you look at what happened last week in Indy, the 212 was the best class of the show. The open was great, was good, but there were more like guys in shape in the 212, and that's something that usually happens a lot. And I would say it was close in the 212. It was pretty close, and even both shows were close. But
I thought, with Indy Pro, I thought even if you went down the line, Derek Oslin placed, I think, 9th in this show.
Yeah.
He was 8th in the Olympia, and I really thought he was going to win. I going into the Indy Pro, I figured he was my favorite to win. Looking at what he looked like in pictures, he probably wasn't as sharp, and he wasn't as sharp as he was at the Olympia, but he wasn't bad,
No, he wasn't.
The guys, the top 10 were all I thought pretty good.
And you know what? He wasn't bad. You know what it is? It's like he can fix it in a week.
Yes,
he can fix that. So you know what? So probably I'm guessing he took the Indy as a test to set a body is, and probably peak for New York, because he wasn't. You know what? If you look at it from from first to sixth, I mean, guys were in shape. I mean, it was a matter of mostly genetics and the body art is, but the guys were close. I mean, it's not like somebody ran out with the victory, because it was close. I mean, people like Jewett winning, people like Tony winning. There was a case that could have been made with a lot of people. So Derek is not far at all.
Yeah, I just think it was a matter of just hitting his mark. His shape is great. I mean, he's got a beautiful physique, in my opinion.
Yeah, very, very, very much so. Very much.
We'll talk about 212 next, but we'll talk about
the open
first. This show, I think the Indy Pro was good and open, but we have some more names in this lineup that I think are going to be a little more exciting. Strange year for the New York Pro, really. Of course, not being in New York is odd.
Yeah, for sure.
Last year too, but this year there's a very few people competing in a lot of the divisions. Of the ones that we'll talk about, I think the biggest one is, well, if we talk about classic, I think that's a little bigger. Not much though. There's 11 guys in men's open, and I think only 10 in 212. So pretty small lineup. I think some guys are waiting probably just to gets closer to the Olympia.
I think so. But you know what is? I think they're doing that. But that can be a mistake too, because now what happens is this: if everybody wants to wait longer for the show, they're going to get a stacks at the end. So some guys will not be able to go.
Right. In this show, we have last week's winner of the Indy Pro, Justin Rodriguez, is doing it. A lot of people on my Instagram page were questioning why would he even do the show? I mean, he's already qualified, but it's a chance to win a big important title, and it's you know, I think it's like, I don't know what the New York Pro pay is, maybe 20,000, 15.
People that are complaining about guys doing multiple shows, that's a professional, you know. So you're there. If you're able to make money, go. I mean, back in the day, all the guys, Wheeler and Cormier, all these guys were doing the Grand Prix and making money out of it.
It's funny because I feel like fans complain one way or the other. They'll say things like, "Oh, it's not like it was in the '90s. Guys used to do a ton of shows," and then when guys start to do multiple shows, they're like, "Why
They're
bother doing
complaining.
it?" You know, it's a chance to make money, and someone like Justin, he's come really close to winning the New York Pro many times. He was second
Yeah,
one
exactly.
year, top 5 many years now. I think 4, maybe 3 or 4 actually. I say many, but it's an important show to him, and clearly, if he was good enough to win just last week, I mean, he has 1 week to wait. Why not go for it?
I
You know,
mean, you know what? That was exactly what he had to do. If you're in shape now, so you can go next week, cash in more money. Because now you know what? The stress of making the Olympia is out. So I can go in, you know, you know what? I'm already in, so I can go in for the money. Because now we know he's in. And you know what? Not only that, he has a good chance of winning, a very good chance of winning next week.
absolutely, absolutely. I'll name all the guys that are in the contest first, from their number on the list, and I'll probably butcher some of their names. But
Okay, no problem.
there's Big Morgan. Is it Estee?
Asti, yeah.
Yeah, huge guy. Like I think
Okay.
he's 3 and 280 something. He's a big,
I
big guy.
was, from what I heard, because I was listening to Asiro, he's over 200 pounds.
How much?
He's over 200 pounds, over 200.
Wow.
Yeah, he's over 200. Yeah.
I believe it. He's
Yeah.
enormous. Blessing is doing the show. He placed 3rd last week. He's doing this one now. Camilo Diaz.
Yes, he got 5th of the show.
Mohamed El Emen, who placed
By second, I think.
Right,
Second to investing.
Roy Evans, who I'm not too very familiar with, honestly. Dorian Haywood.
Yes.
Who was 4th last week.
Yes. Fourth last week, yeah.
Big Hassan Mustafa is from Egypt, doing it. Big dude. Justin Rodriguez, Sean Smith, and Nick Walker. Out of Florida, with Matt Jansen as his coach. If you had to pick top 3 right off the bat, who would you say?
Off the bat, top 3. To me, it's going to be a battle between Justin, Hassan, and Nick Walker. That to me is the top. Now, where they're going to place, well, it depends. But I believe it's those 3, because number 1, Justin is now, we can say now Justin is an Olympian.
Yes.
He's been doing that as a top 10 win. So he has to be in the mix. Hassan has all the potential. Hassan is the biggest guy, powerful one of these 2 guys. Okay. Structurally, like his aesthetics are not great, but he has so much mass there. And if he comes in shape, those are in trouble. And there's Nick Walker. Nick is the young guy, he's the young freak in there. And I think, you know, Nick will give them a lot of problems. And I mean those 3. I mean, now with that guy, what's his name? The guy that finished second last week. He's good too.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Is it Mohammed?
Okay.
Is that?
He's good.
Yeah. I'm not sure how he pronounces the name, because sometimes I see it written Mokhamed, and sometimes I see that K is not there. So I don't know. But
I think probably Mohammed. But he's going to be in the mix. But not top 3, but he's going to be in there. Because last week, you know what? Even though Justin won, that guy did not look stupid beside him.
No, he didn't look stupid.
He looked pretty good.
I thought Justin won it very clearly.
He won. He won. But the other guy didn't look out of place.
No. Yes.
No.
My thoughts are, I agree with those 3 being a very possible top 3. Another guy who I think could be in that top 3, and it depends on how he comes in, is who I think I left his name out actually when I was doing the names. On Win.
You know what? Okay, I was about to talk about him. Honestly, if I can ever nail it, but nail it for real, honestly, this guy could never give Justin a run for his money.
Yeah,
You
On's
know?
got a beautiful physique. I've been a fan of his since, I don't know. He did really well in a few shows in 2014. Remember
Yes,
him and
yes.
Jojo and Tafaro were going at it in a couple shows, I think. And they're friendly and everything. But On's physique, I think, it's gorgeous. He just has to come in shape.
Come in, yeah, in fact, yeah.
He is with Justin Miller now as his coach
Okay,
for this season. So we'll see
which
if
is a,
that.
it's a good choice.
Yeah, Justin's a great coach, and I think that should be a good mix. I'm looking forward to seeing what On looks like. But I think if I had to pick, Justin is very dangerous. Of course, he's so polished. As a bodybuilder on stage,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
very polished. His posing is very good. Actually, I think he worked a little bit with Alyssa Kiesling actually last
You
year.
think? Oh, okay.
I don't remember how much, but he did a little bit. And they're friendly, I know. But he's very polished, and I know he's hungry to win this show because he's tried it for a few years in a row now. And
Did
he's
you
come
get
really,
it? Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know. Nick Walker, to me, that if I had to, it's between those two for me.
Yeah, okay. I get that. Come on.
Yeah, I just Nick he's a freak. There's some things that are, the vascularity of his legs is maybe a little unattractive to some people,
Okay.
the calves, but I don't know. I think he's pretty complete, and he's got good separation. A lot of guys, when they get that big as fast as he did, they lack that. But he has it. And I thought he looked like a pro even the year before he turned pro.
Yeah, exactly. True.
So I don't know. I think it's going to be between him and Justin. But Hassan could do really well, and On, and that's probably my top four.
Yeah. And you know what? I agree with you on that. You know about Nick? To me, I believe that Nick will do the Olympia this year, probably to the way the shows are going. He probably will do it. That would be a big victory for him, to win Euro Pro. That would be a huge one. I mean, in his young career to win Euro Pro that young, and now that would be great. But like I said, you know what? I agree with you on that. Justin and him it's a close battle in the sense that they're pretty big, both of them, but their physiques are so different.
Very different, yes.
So different, I would say Hassan and Nick look a lot more like
Yeah.
like easier than
They're
Justin.
They're mass monsters.
Yeah,
But
mass monsters. Exactly.
I think Nick's shape is better than Hassan's.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Waist better. People talk about him being blocky. I don't think so. He's not the tallest guy, and he's very, very wide, but his waist does taper down a bit. So
yeah, for a guy this size, he looks very good, very good. You know what?
I agree.
And you know what? I believe that even though Justin might win because he has all the figures. Remember, he has done New York Pro many times. Justin, if Justin comes in not as sharp as last week, Nick will get him.
Yeah.
So he has to come in the way he did.
Yeah, he's got to come in as good or better, I think.
As good or better. He can't come in and say, you know what, he has to be, or else, Nick's gonna get him. Because Hassan, as big as he is, and I've seen him many times, I've seen him in Tampa 2 years ago and all that, Hassan hasn't nailed it yet.
Never. Yeah, Never. I agree with you. He's very impressed. I mean, like size-wise, he's enormous. He's not missing any body parts, really.
No.
But he has not nailed his conditioning yet.
No.
And I think Justin was working with Abdullah out of Oxygen, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm surprised because he was doing good with the cement factory. What's his name? Cement factory. He was doing good. So when he left him to go back to Kuwait, I was like, is that a good choice? Because he was doing good. But now, because normally guys coming out for Kuwait, sometimes they're pushing the guys to be bigger and all that, and losing condition and all that. But Justin came in great. So
Yeah.
you know what? So I mean, if Justin comes in the way he thinks, I mean, he could win. But as you said, Nick will not give him. Well, sorry, will give a lot of trouble.
Yes.
A lot of trouble.
I think we should mention Blessing, because going into this whole thing, there was the rivalry, the Instagram rivalry between Blessing and Nick was like all the talk. And then Blessing competed before him. He competed last week at the Indy Pro, and he placed third in a what I thought was a really close battle between him and Dorian Haywood, who placed fourth.
Yeah.
I think it could have gone either way. But what do you think about Blessing's chances of placing in the top five?
You know what? Blessing has a great structure. What Blessing did during during the whole prep, he hyped the show, which was great. I mean, basically, you know what? If it wasn't for that rivalry between Blessing and Nick, Indy Pro would have been, or New York Pro would have been a very boring show. Very boring. Very, very boring. So you know what? He made it more entertaining, which is great, you know? Now, what he presented last Saturday, the physique is good, but not great. And you can see, you know what? He has things has to work on, but the things has to work on because it's there. You just need to fill out more, you know? Will it happen this weekend? Probably not. Because now the lineup is tougher now.
Yeah.
So now remember, he finished third last week, and we have two names more now. We have Hassan and we have Nick. And those two are shoo-ins for top five.
Yeah, and they're huge guys. You know,
huge guys.
The thing, Blessing, I agree that I think that the whole rivalry thing was great. I mean, it's always, I love stuff like that. Well, you and I are big wrestling fans, so
exactly. I was about to say that. Yeah. We know about that. Storylines and all that. Yeah.
I think IFBB, the pro league, could stand to have more personalities. Like, there's got to be heels, and there's got to be
you know what?
baby faces.
Oh my God, they need, and that's the thing. They need. You know what? I mean, I understand because it's funny because I could say like Blessing was like kind of a heel, and Nick kind of a face.
Yeah,
I know it was very polarizing. You know, you were either a Nick fan or you were a Blessing fan at the end. You know, but now the thing is that when you create, that's the bodybuilding. You know, when you create something like that, you have to deliver.
yes.
But if you don't deliver, then the people are not as they don't. They don't.
I kind of at the a year ago at the Arnold Classic, I remember I was with Will Whitman, and Blessing was around, like just in the he wasn't competing, but he was there at the show. When the show was over and we were greeting people and everyone was talking, and I just remember Will and I talking about how he's not that big. Like on Instagram, he's
he's huge.
So you think he's a humongous guy, but he's not that big of a men's open bodybuilder, really. So I kind of thought the whole time going in, man, he must really have changed in a year if he's kind of calling out Nick, who's a huge dude. But last week we saw his physique, and I think he's got beautiful shape to his physique. He's got great biceps, nice tiny waist, but he needs to fill out a whole lot more, I think, to be winning shows, and placing in the top 3 of this show is going to be a lot harder than placing in the top 3 of
you know what? I don't believe it's going to make top 3 because you know what? There's too many things missing, and what he's missing, the other guys have plenty.
Yes,
he's missing legs, and you're in a show with Hassan and Nick Walker, who these guys walk on tree trunks.
Tree trunks, yeah.
Okay, so right there, and you see your back is okay, but Justin back is way better.
Yeah, Justin.
So right now, no. So right now, if I were him, I would do New York Pro because I think he's even scheduled to do Cali next week. I
That's
would
next.
shut it down.
That's the
I would shut
following.
it down. Yeah, yeah.
You would shut it down before Cali or after Cali?
No,
You're
I
saying,
would. You know what? Honestly, with the improvements he needs to have, I would shut it down after New York.
yeah, he needs another year for legs and things. I think at least the
At
legs
least.
have a nice shape to them, but there's not depth of cuts. There's a saying that he needs more separation and
Okay.
depth of cuts in his legs, and even
Okay.
all the individual muscle groups of the quads are just not. They're not big, although the shape is nice.
And that's the thing. The shape is nice. It's like people call him a young Kai Green. You know, but Kai had all the things that Kai have right now. He had it, but more smaller. Because right now, Blessing needs a lot of legs and a lot of back to be able like to stand next to these guys, to stand next to Justin, to stand. And you know what? Remember, Justin, Hassan, Nick are not. I mean, beside Justin, they're not top tier Olympians. So that's right there. It shows you. I mean, Justin's great. He's a top 10 Olympia, but all the other guys are not. So that's gonna be, it's gonna be something.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking Nick and Justin will be battling for first place, and then I think I think Anna and Hassan, depending on how they come in, if they're in condition, that's going to round out the top four for me. But I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right about that. I like that. I know what? Han has a potential to make top three if he
Yeah.
nails it. Really.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I agree. And for in the top five, I'm going to go with Muhammad probably, who plays second.
What? Yeah, Mohammed. But you know what? Morgan asked me. You know
Yeah.
what? Here's my thing. Morgan, if that show was in New York, the people of New York would have loved him. He's a freak.
He's a freak. I saw him at the Arnold too, and not only was he huge, he's a big guy. His shape isn't the greatest, and he's got things going on, but he was at the Arnold. He was shredded, like
unbelievable. Even that show.
He and Max Charles were both shredded like crazy, and I thought both of them should have placed a little better than they did. But it was a stacked show. That Arnold was pretty stacked, so it was hard to place better than they did. But yeah, I think if he comes in looking like he did at that Arnold, he could do very, very well.
Yeah, for sure. I see it, because you know what? Because even though his structure is not great, I mean, the guy is 300 pounds and he's shredded.
Yeah.
So that must count for something, because in the end, it's bodybuilding. It's about muscle, and he has muscle to spare, and he's shredded. So just for that, I do believe he might make first call out. I'm not saying he's gonna win. He's not going to show, but he's gonna make first call out on the basis of he's big and conditioned.
Yes.
To me, because at 6'3", at that size, you can't miss him.
No, he's huge. Yeah. Now who does he work with?
Chris Aceto.
Okay. That's why he was shredded at the Arnold. Hopefully, if they nail it again this time, boom, he can do really well for himself.
Yeah, it's Aceto for sure. I mean, you know what? He can do good. And I'm telling you, if that guy was in New York, in New York at Detroit, New York, people would have went bunkers for him.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Because I remember back in the day, and that's a long time ago, when Marcus did the New York Pro back in '99. I was there.
You were?
I was there in '99 when Paul Dillette won the show, and the crowd just went nuts for him.
Yeah.
For Marcus. Marcus was the talk of, and you know what? Marcus was huge. And when Marcus got forked, the people booed like crazy. Oh, bro, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, he made Paul Dillette almost look normal. And Paul is a huge guy.
Normal. Yeah, and he made Paul look normal for sure, because he was beyond big.
Yeah, Marcus was crazy. But yeah. Want to move into 212?
Yeah, 212 for sure. Yeah, 212. Let's do it.
So listed. I'll name all the names in the show, and I'll
Okay.
probably butcher names. Noel Adame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I pronounce his last name right?
Yeah, no Adame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big guy. Yeah,
He did really well last week. Yeah.
You know what? No, okay. Noel got. I think he got fifth or sixth, and you know what? The guy was in shape.
So
Noel
he
was in
got
shape.
third.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he got. Oh
Good.
no. He didn't
No.
compete. Did he compete last week? And
Yeah, he
I'm looking.
competed last week. He competed. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah, he competed last week.
I have the scorecards here
Yeah,
somewhere.
go ahead.
No, that's Pittsburgh Pro. Oh man, I had it. Indy Pro. He got fifth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got fifth. Yeah.
He's done really well. He was, I think, like second or third in the Chicago Pro last year.
Yes.
Remember him? He's great.
Bro, he's big. I mean, you know what? From the side, bro, his legs are tremendous.
Nuts. Yeah.
Nuts.
So there's Noel, there's Devon Bartley, Peter Castella,
okay,
Nathan Effer,
okay, yeah, for sure.
Oswaldo Gonzalez, John Jewett, Sahar Kazaz,
Okay.
Derek Oslin, Justin Randall, and Samir Trudy.
Trudy, yeah. Jim Trudy, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? You had to pick a top three.
Top three, okay. You know what? I got Jewett in the top three. I got I want to put Noel in there because Noel was so good. Noel was good last week. Nathan was good. He got second. He got second. Yeah, he got second.
He got second. He looked great.
Got second. Look great. You look great. You know what? Honestly, I would tell you 212 is tougher than open.
It's really tough. There's so many guys. I mean, like the guys who the names I wrote down, or Noel, Nathan, Justin Randall, Samir Trudy, even though he was like 12th last week.
Yeah.
This guy has got he's another one with beautiful, sort of like just beautiful shape, beautiful physique. He just needs to nail it.
Bro, he never comes in on, bro. Never, ever. I mean, to me and my friends were going, you know what? He's like the Lionel of the 212.
Yeah, Lionel Beck. Yeah, very much. He looks like he should win, and then he's never.
You never know. He doesn't.
Yeah, really nice guy too. I like him a lot. I hope he comes in shredded and does well. John Jewett, and I also think Derek Oslin. He could go from 9th to last week to 1st this week. He's got that kind of, you know. He was 8th in the world at the Olympia. To go from 8th in the world at the Olympia and 9th at the Indy Pro was a big. I'm sure that shook him a little bit, but it seems like looking at what he's said on Instagram, he had a couple of days that were kind of rough, but he's back at it. And you know, if he comes in like he can win it. This show is a lot of variables. He could win. John Jewett could win. Nathan could win. It's going to be very interesting. I like Justin Randall as well.
You know, Justin, John, Nathan. You know what? Last week, John Jewett was shredded like unbelievable. He got beat by guys who were like a little rounder. Like Tony that beat him, I think beat him because of the back double bicep. And he was a little rounder. But to me, John can win the show.
Yeah, I agree.
He can win the show.
I thought it was super, super close between him and Nathan as who
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, that show is, it's almost impossible for me to call it, but if I had to name the names that I have in the top 5,
Okay.
but I'm not going to put them in order necessarily.
Okay.
Derek,
Yes.
John Jewett, Nathan, probably Noel.
Yeah, I got him in there too for sure.
And then I don't know who I would put in 5th.
Did you do Justin Randall?
It's either Justin Randall or Sammy. If Sammy comes in.
You know what? I got Randall. Because
Yeah.
Samir, to me can change, but you know what? I don't see Samir changing like that. I don't know. Justin Randall probably better, yeah. Even though Samir, because you know what? If you look at not on paper, but physically, Samir should win that show. Samir and Derek should be shoo-ins, but they're not.
Yeah, they got the most beautiful physiques for sure.
Exactly, but I believe Derek can make a huge jump because he wasn't that far. Wasn't that far, you know?
No,
because to me, you know what, Derek could do very well this weekend, and even better probably in Cali. That 212 in Cali. I don't say that in Cali 212, but he could move up a lot because it's not like he was out of shape last week.
No, he wasn't.
You know? He wasn't. So it's something that can be fixed. It can be fixed really, really well. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm saying, you know what? He can make first call out for sure, and he can give a good battle for that top placement for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
if you look at it that way.
I kind of want to say, and this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to come down to him and John Jewett last week. Going into the show, if I had to do a prediction, I would say it was
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
If I have faith in Derek, so I think the top 3 are going to be. I'm not going to put them in order, but I think Derek, John, and either Nathan or Noel.
Okay, so I would go. I would go John. You know what? I would go John, Nathan, Noel, and Derek. These 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's my top. That's my top 4.
Yeah. Because Nathan last week looked great. So if Nathan comes in the same way, he has to be because on top. Noel is so big on certain shots. They have to put him there too, you know. And you know what? Yeah. So it's like that. And Derek, because I believe Derek can make the changes to move up because what he has to do is not that hard because he has all the tools. He just needs to come in to nail it because he has everything there.
Did you look at all into classic physique for the New York Pro?
I haven't looked at it. All I know is that Danny Union is doing it.
Yeah.
And he looks really good.
Danny's, I think, I think he has to be considered the strong.
The favorite. Strong favorite.
He's a top 6 Olympian.
Exactly. I was about to say that multiple times.
And he probably could have been in the top 5, 1 or 2 of those. Yeah. So he's excellent. He's a guy who could be a perennial top 5 Olympian, in my opinion. Yeah. So I think he'll win this.
Because he's always won a show every year for the last, I think, 2-3 years. He won a show because he's good. Yeah. He's very good. He's very good.
He's excellent. There's nothing that I can say
missing on him. No.
His posing's great too. It's just classic physique as a division as a whole is stacked, with great talent. So it's hard to get past that top 6 in the Olympics.
Unreal. I mean, like you just said, the class is stacked with talent. And you know what? We had 3 years, and you were there with me, where we had the same 3 guys at the top 3.
Yeah.
The same 3 guys, But what happened was underneath, the class was getting stronger with other guys, So that class is so much with talent, so that anybody at anywhere can really do something. But Danny in that show, unless somebody comes in from nowhere, which I don't believe,
Right.
they're not going to beat him.
I was kind of looking at it last night, that like people, the other people in the show, and like where they placed and such, and recently, and I think that he's going to be pretty much the clear winner. In the show are also the guys who placed second and third at the Pittsburgh Pro, Saber Favors.
Yes, yes.
And it placed second at the Pittsburgh Pro. He looked great. And Dmitry, I'm going to mispronounce his last name.
Yeah, the Russian guy. The guy from Russia.
Yes, he looked awesome too.
They both, you know what? These two both look great, but remember, they got beat by Divine, which was a great guy.
Divine's great talent, but Divine doesn't beat Danny. I don't
Danny,
think.
no, ever. No, at all. No. You see?
He's not quite, but he's very good.
He's very good. Yeah, for sure. But like
Divine will be, he's going to be in the Olympia for as long as he wants to be, probably. He's
probably, yeah, for sure.
Very, very talented. In the other division, so did you look at the women's divisions at all?
I looked, I tell you, I looked at wellness, because wellness are all new, so I can't really say nothing about it. I looked at women's bodybuilding, women's physique. To me, like when we're talking like offline, I was surprised at the number of athletes that are going, very little.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because with bodybuilding too, you know that Jake Wood, who owns the Olympia, also owns Wings of Strength.
Mm-hmm.
Huge backer of women's bodybuilding. We brought back the Miss Olympia this past year. It was great results. The show was
for sure,
awesome.
For sure, yeah.
Very good. So I was kind of hopeful that the girls in that division would be competing like at this show, especially because the New York show, and for them to bring bodybuilding back to it, women's bodybuilding. It was an opportunity, I think, for some people to make a name for themselves and win a big show.
Yes.
So it's kind of disappointing. There's only 5 girls doing it, or 5 women. And I think of them, if I had to pick who I think is going to win, it would be LaDawn
LaDawn, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That to me, unless something happens to her, to me, she's just shooing to go. And again, you know what I think? Here's my problem with women bodybuilding. Okay? They're always complaining about they have no opportunity to compete, and they do now. They don't go.
Right.
You see, they don't go. So now there's only 5 people doing the show. And you know what that was? And look at it as we're talking offline. Those are easy points in the point system.
Big points. New York Pro is
huge
tier
points.
2 or tier 3 show. I forget.
Yeah. I think it's the same as Toronto on these shows. It's a big show. Yeah. I think second place gets 8. Yeah. I think second place gets 8 points.
Yeah. So that was so whoever wins the show isn't someone that you would thought, because LaDawn was, I think, 12th at the Olympia.
Yeah, 12th, exactly. Yeah, she was yeah.
She looked great. She was just not. She's got great shape, great flow, beautiful physique, but she wasn't super sharp at the Olympia. So we'll see if she comes in a little sharper for this show. It's going to be an easy one for her, I think. Because I looked at the other girls that were doing it, and some of them had some crazy conditioning.
But the shape and all, a lot of them condition. I know what you're talking. I know talking. They're conditioned, but it's the. You know what? When you have Andrea Shaw as the Olympia, as the one in front, you're looking for that. And then this show, the only thing close to that is LaShawn.
Yeah.
And nobody else. I mean, that's the only close to Andrea, So it's gonna be, I mean, the best of luck to all of them, but this show, I mean, let's put it that way. None of these girls are threats for the Olympia in September.
I agree with you. I think that the division itself is going to be changing quite a bit from what it's been over the past few years. Because you're seeing girls like oh my God, Andrea Shaw, beautiful, just a beautiful woman, beautiful physique, gorgeous muscle bellies. She's got great separation, and she had striations in her glutes and such, but the muscle was, she's called Miss Pretty Muscle, and she's got pretty muscle. You know, it's not gnarly, not like she's not a female Dorian Yates, you know.
Exactly. That's true.
And you know, Maya, oh my God,
who talking about who?
Last year at the Olympia, Mela.
Mela Hash.
God, I can't believe I forgot.
Mela Hash, very good.
I'm friendly with Mela. She's, I think, another one with a beautiful physique who I can see moving up and doing really, really well this year at the Olympia, possibly being in the top 2 even. I think she was top 4.
Yeah, 4. She was 4. I think she was she was 4th, I think. 4th or 3rd.
I think so. But she's someone too, pretty muscle. You know, she looks very feminine. She's got more size than the physique girls. But still, she could add some more size too, but to catch up with Andrea. And also Asha Hadley, I think is her name. Asha.
Yes.
She was came from Physique as well. Also, pretty woman with a pretty muscles, and I think that that's sort of the direction that I would like to see.
Which I like, exactly. Which I like. So that's why I think LaShawn is exactly that. If she comes in correct, she's winning.
I agree. That's
for sure.
I think that's true. In women's physique, that's another one that class is so small. There's 6 women.
6 women,
Going into the show, we thought that initially that Rachel Daniels, the last year's defending champion, was going to be doing the show, and then she pulled out.
She pulled out,
So, and to take care of, you know, it's important. I think she was going really, really hard all year. She did great at the Olympia, and I think just pushing herself too, just you know, in the industry, and I think she needed a rest, and I think she's smart.
You know what? She did the best thing for her by taking a rest and all that. But you know what? She's young, and she has the talent. The talent is there, you know. So we know she can deliver. The talent is there, so there's no rush, you know. For her, you know, because remember, bodybuilding is the career is so short, so you want to make it the best out of it. So want to burn a candle by the one to burn the candles on 2 sides. So she did the best thing for her. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, and I hope she's not looking at it now and seeing that there's only 6 girls in it, going, "Oh my gosh, I should have." But you know
what?
I know. I spoke to someone. I think you know her, Patricia Gosling.
Yeah. I know her. That's the bit. Okay.
I spoke to her last night, and she said something like, "This is just my luck." You know, she said, "If I decided to do the New York Pro, there would have been 40 girls in. Now there's 6.
I told her the same thing when she did Tampa 2 years ago. There were 42 girls, 42.
Yeah.
That show. Yeah, 42. So yeah. And you know what? And that's how it is. And now in that show, there's only 6 girls, you know, doing the show.
Do top 5 get points? Do top 5 get points?
Top 5 get points. Top 5 get points.
That's great.
And as we said, it's a big show.
There's only 6 girls, but I do think that we're going to see 2 girls at least who I think are going to do really, really, really well at this show. And I think we'll see them both in the Olympia. Whether one of them is going to win this show, in my opinion, that's either Sharonica.
Okay, yeah.
It's Henton, right?
Yes, Henton, yeah.
Or the classical queen, Alyssa Keesley.
Alyssa Keesley. You know what? And for sure, Alyssa got a lot of publicity on Instagram. A lot of it, you know, a lot of all that. and she looks great, you know. But the only thing I always say to people, you know what? When you see on Instagram and when you see on stage, sometimes are not the same. So you cannot judge someone, but from the looks of it, she looks awesome. But until she gets on that stage, we'll see from there. But I'm sure it's gonna have a great pro debut, and from what we're looking at, she's probably gonna do a top two for sure. You know, for sure, for sure. She's probably gonna
Oh,
have the best routine of the show.
oh yeah. Alyssa, to me, I've been a big fan of hers from before she turned pro. I think I don't know how many years ago this was now. But as soon as I saw her on Instagram and I saw her posing, oh my God, I thought it was like watching like Lee Labrada or Muhammad Makawi. Like,
yes, yes, yes.
She just had such a love and passion for the art of bodybuilding. And I think, I've spoken to many girls in the sport in those early years who were kind of like wondering why I was giving her so much attention on my page. But I really I think I saw like something that she was unique and she's special in in certain ways. And talking about pretty muscle, I think she's got pretty muscle. Like her arms are beautiful. She's got it all. She's really this year, I think she's added size nicely without blowing herself up. She stayed in shape for many months. She was in shape, looking like maybe there's a show a couple months away, like the whole time. And she's working with Hyacinth.
Yes. I know him. Yeah.
He brings girls in super shredded sometimes.
Yes.
And if I had to pick who I think's going to win, it's definitely, to me, it's either going to be her or Sharonica. Sharonica, to me, she's got structure. She's taller. Because Alyssa, I think 5 foot tall, maybe 5'1".
Yeah, she's short. She's very short.
But the way she's built, she's not squatty.
True. Exactly. True.
She's maintained great proportions and balance. Sharonica, though, is a girl who I've thought, and I've told her this, that she could be Ms. Olympia. If she nails her condition, she's got the structure, the muscle bellies. She's great. But I'm 99.99% sure that Alyssa is going to nail her conditioning.
Oh, that's not a debate, for sure.
But I can't say that about Sharonica because she's a little bit, she's usually just a little off.
Yeah, a little off. You know what? Here's the thing. Elisa has to nail it 100%. Okay? Sharonica L, the thing is, since she's taller and her structure is better, I'm not saying she can be off. Not off. If she is close to Elisa's condition, very close, she's winning. But if she's too far off, she's going to lose.
I agree that's possibly true. I don't know.
Remember,
I don't I feel like if I come out and say that Alyssa's going to win and kill everybody, that people will say that's just me being her fanboy. And her friend. No. I've known her. Well, actually, I've never been. But it's like when people have thought that about me with Phil Heath for a long time, and I'm that I was just saying this because all things about him, how great I thought he was because I was his friend. I didn't meet Phil until 2015, and I was saying he was like the best thing since probably 2011. So what I'm talking about Alyssa, I'm talking about her as a bodybuilder, not as a friend of mine. I think that if she nails her conditioning, which I think she will, and she's going to either win or be second, depends on what Sharonica looks like and how they look together.
Sure.
But like I said, it's a lot different. I haven't seen Alyssa next to a pro before.
Okay, yeah.
But I can tell that Ulysse looks a whole lot different now than she did when she was an amateur.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And you know what? The way she looks now, chances are she will be the Olympia this year. Somehow.
yeah, yeah.
Somehow. Somehow.
This is the people can, whatever. She lives and breathes the thing. So I think
for sure.
that one way or another, she's getting there,
For sure, for sure. Yeah. And especially, you know what? Her doing New York, even let's say she places second, the amount of points that she's gonna get, that's number one. And number two, there's not that many shows in women's physique. Not that many.
Yeah.
So the points she's getting there are gonna be so important for her. A win is gonna be unbelievable win, but the points at this point, knowing that there are not too many shows, every point you get is important at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, for sure. Because you know what? Because girls will not do many shows back to back. So for her, that strategy, like say, as a strategy, doing Europe was a good thing, and it's close to her. It's close to her. It's in Florida, so so she's good.
Right. Yes.
So everything's fine.
It was a no-brainer for her to do it.
No brainer for her. No brainer. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be. And I'm not disrespecting the other women that are in the class and women's physique, but I do think it's going to be something would have to be really weird for it not to be those two women.
I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised about that.
To kind of talk about a little bit less muscle.
Okay.
Bikini. There are two women in this show who are multiple Miss Olympias.
Yeah, Ashley. Yeah.
Ashley.
Yes.
And Aaron Stern.
Aaron Stern. And you know what? Aaron Stern is two-time
figure.
Figure Olympia. Yeah.
So she's doing the show. I mean, I'm for that. I'm just going with Ashley. To me, I think
Ashley.
She's her body is nuts. It's crazy, and I think that. To me, I've thought the past couple of Olympias I would have had her like right near the top. Or I think she's great. But if she wins the show, she will tie Ronnie Coleman with 26 pro wins.
I know. That's like
and
that's crazy though.
Yeah. And these are just behind Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, people will see that.
I think she's gonna break that record. She doesn't look like she's slowing down.
You know what? Because she won Pittsburgh. She's going to win that show.
Yeah.
And chances are she's going to do probably another show for sure. You know what? Honest to God, and you know what? And that would be a good trivia question. Guys don't do that because Ashley will probably win more than 30 shows.
I think so. Dexter has 29, right?
29 wins.
And Ashley's body doesn't look, it looks fresh, always looks like she's new,
She's young.
She won her title very young. So
yeah, she's young. And you know what? What's good about that? She's in a class where you can do multiple shows and your body is not getting tired.
Right.
That's why it's easier in bikini and other classes, because these girls can do a lot of shows. Because you don't go to the extreme that bodybuilders go, women's physique go, figure goes.
Right.
So if there's someone that can beat that record, it's her.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's going to happen for sure. If not this year,
for sure.
She'll do it by the end of 2022. She'll be the all-time
winning bodybuilder. Who would have thought? But you know what? I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. If we come out saying that, we're gonna have so much.
Can you hear the thunder here? There's a huge thunderstorm happening right now. But anyway, sorry.
Oh my God! And you know what? If we say that to people that she's gonna beat Dexter, the amount of flack we're gonna get by saying that,
right?
Because that's like sacrilegious. But if you look at it from only the standpoint of it, Ashley has a number of victories in the IFBB, and that counts.
Yeah. It's
even though on
not
my
men's
end,
bodybuilding. He'll Dexter roll, I think, always have the men's bodybuilding
for
record.
sure, for sure, that's for sure. That's not it. That's a given. I mean, nobody's beating that. Nobody. Not my friend.
Yeah. Wellness, another division that's going to be there. This show, I think, is going to have the same top 4 or 5. Because I think actually I looked. It's got the entire top 8 of last week's show, or
Okay.
the
Oh,
Pittsburgh
2 weeks
Pro
ago.
show.
Pittsburgh.
And I think 9 of the top 10. There's only, I think the girl who placed 9th is not in this show. At least her name wasn't on the list. All these things could change. We're saying there's 5 girls in this class, 6 girls in that class, but you never know. That could change by
Okay.
weekend. But yeah, I think it's going to be the same top 4. But I think that Yarishna, who placed second in Pittsburgh, I think they'll flip it. I think she'll take it.
You know what? Honestly, you know what? She got second, and you know what? She could have gotten first because she's built. I mean, she used to do bikini. She's built for wellness.
Yes. The girl who won, Angela Borges.
Yes, Angela. Yeah.
She's amazing too, and she could very easily win a second time. But you know, I often think that sometimes with the Olympia, there's a casting process that goes.
Yeah.
She's already in there. We got her.
Yeah. So Angela got to win. Yorisha got to win. So the Olympia got the rubber match. The Olympia the rubber match. So right there. So they got. You know what? Right. They're both gonna go to the Olympia for sure.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Yeah.
And I think there's the girl who placed 4th. Her name is Dr. Sunny Andrews.
Yeah, she's trained by Mountain. I think she's trained by Tom Meadows, I think.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Her physique is nuts. I follow her here. I've been for a while. I think she on Instagram. I think she has a good chance to make. She was 4th last week. She's a good chance of cracking the top 3 this week.
Which I believe too. Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah. Dr. Sunny something her name. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's good.
Yes.
Yeah, a figure. I'll be honest. I didn't really look too much into figure, so I won't talk about that at all.
And you know, makes me think is because I was so caught up with 212 and open women's physique and all that. I didn't have the time to check, and not because I disrespect, because I respect figure a lot. That's not even the question. A lot. But I didn't really look at it. But the other classes, you know what? There's some storylines in all the classes, you know, which probably will make the show fun. There's storylines in P12, there's storylines in open, there's a bit of story that there's something in every class, you know, which will make the show probably interesting, you know. I just hope that the webcast goes good, because last week wasn't good. Last week
I heard, I was working, so
last week was not good. Last weekend, I mean, people were complaining. People paid for it. They didn't get nothing. They had to go on YouTube and somebody was streaming it. So that's how they got it. Yeah. So that's the one thing about bodybuilding right now. They have to fix the streaming. Because if they want to make money out of it, they have to fix it. Because you and I, we come from wrestling. And if there's something that WWE does perfectly, is how to stream a show.
Oh yeah.
They're perfect on
that. Value of a WWE show, or even UFC, I mean, it's just pretty flawless. So
it's flawless. It's flawless. I mean, you know what?
It's simple. You have one stage. You just need a wide angle and a couple slightly closer ones.
I never got it. You don't need to do close-ups or try to pan out. And no, you just stay there. It don't move.
Yeah. Stay static. So I
stay static and stay there.
See the whole line.
That's it, you know. And the thing is, I mean, here's the thing. I believe that the IFBB should have like a TV crew doing it, not somebody that knows how to do TV, that really knows how to do production and all that. So that when you look at it, it doesn't look like an amateur show. It actually looks like, you know, something professional, you know? Because sometimes when you look at webcasts, I mean, it looks amateur and you guys are making us pay a lot more money for that. Because you know what? Make it look great. And we're gonna pay for it. No, because you and I will pay for it. But
Of
if
course.
you want to get, let's say, other people to go for it, you have to make it look great. And that's why they don't do that.
Yeah. No. Was the Olympia this year? The Olympia I watched. Actually, I had to watch the day show.
Okay.
On my laptop, and I thought it was pretty good the way they.
It was good. It was good. The way they made it was good. Yeah, it was good. The way they filmed it was good.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Next year's New York Pro also from the same venue, right? Or is it different?
Exactly. Yeah, same thing.
And it was good. That was fine, I thought.
Because last year's show, the Open was good with Ian and all that. I mean, last year's show was good. It was very good last year, the Open show. The Open show was good. Was very good. I mean, last year's show was good. In total,
I thought it looked fine on streaming.
It looked fine on TV because I saw it on TV. It was good. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it should be interesting because, like, there's a chance Nick Walker could be making his Olympia debut after winning. This is his pro debut, right? No, it's not his pro debut.
No. It's second year. Second year.
But it's a chance that if he has a chance of sort of
that's a huge show to win.
As like the next big thing,
that's the huge. You know what? That is a huge show to win. New York Pro there, the history behind it, it's a huge show. I mean, it's a feather on your cap when you win that show. It's something, especially in your second year. It's something. I mean, once you remember back in the day when you won, you were winning the New York Pro at the Olympia. You were something big.
Oh yeah.
When you were winning the New York Pro, I mean, guys that were winning the New York Pro or the Arnold at the Olympic, they were top 10 Olympians for sure.
Oh, definitely.
No debate. Something top 6. So so it's a prestigious show. So Nick winning it would be very great for him. And you know what? It's great because now it would be, some young blood coming in. Because he's very young, He's like, I think he's 26, 27, something like that. 26, I think. Very young. So it's a good thing because now, you know what? For the younger generation, he's going to be the one they're going to look at, because he wins the show and all that. So now, after that, at the Olympics, it's another story at the Olympics because now he's got to face other guys like face Ian Valliere, Vince Labrada, and all these guys. So that's going to be something else. But I do believe that Nick has the goods to go to the Olympia.
Yeah, I agree.
He has the goods.
You mentioned Labrada, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to do one of these again for the Chicago Pro because I know he's doing Chicago.
Yeah, for sure.
So is Sergio Oliva.
Yes, for sure.
Akeem Williams, and I think those three guys. I think Akeem Williams is doing Chicago Pro.
Because he's not qualified for the Olympia yet, but if he's doing it, that's a huge show.
I don't know if he has announced yet what show he's doing.
I don't think he did.
I saw a video where I think it was Desktop Bodybuilding.
Okay.
That guy does a great job on YouTube. Anyone who's watching this, check out Desktop Bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Great show. I think he's South African. I'm not positive.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
An accent of some sort, and I think that's what it is. But anyway, he does a great job. And it was actually, he was showing a clip from Fuad's podcast, actually, where Sergio was on it. And I think Sergio was saying that he thought his biggest competition at the Chicago Pro would be Akeem Williams. So I don't know if it's necessarily known that Akeem is doing that show or if it's just people are assuming.
I saw that show with Fuad. I saw it. And I think Sergio said that if Akeem does a show, that's a huge. You know what we were saying before? Like people waiting for the little shows to go. Now you're in a show where there's Akeem, there's Hunter, and there's Sergio. One of these guys might not end up at the Olympia.
It'd be crazy, right?
We're crazy when you think about it.
I think, and what's crazy is I think all those guys have the potential to be future Mr. Olympias.
For sure. So that Chicago show, you know what? Remember, Chicago's going to be great, and probably Tampa too.
Yeah.
Tampa's going to be nuts because Tampa's the last show. I can only imagine Tampa now. Because if guys are waiting for the show, Tampa's going to be nuts.
When is Tampa?
Is it Tampa's in? Is it late? Hold on. I got to check. Is it late August? I got to check. I think it's late August. It's the last show.
The Arnold is happening in September this year, isn't it?
September. Yeah.
So that's even later, and that's going to be a crazy show. If it depends on if it's still, who knows what's going on with that show? But if it's still invitational, who knows?
I don't know because is it official now? Is it official or what?
I don't know. I think it's odd because they've announced a date, but they haven't announced what state, let alone what venue. So it's like, how do you know the date, but you don't know where you're doing it? So I don't know.
You see, yesterday I was watching RX Muscle yesterday with Dave and all that, with Palumbo and all that, and he was saying that the problem they have no venue.
Yeah, that's an issue.
That's a huge issue.
Yeah, I'm kind of really excited for the Chicago Pro just to see those guys. If those were the only three doing that show,
just these awesome. Those three names, it's a great show. Just for that.
Yeah. Sergio, to me, I mean, I love Sergio Oliva. He's great guy he's great for the sport. His personality, I think, is great for the sport.
Yes.
He's another guy who he gets it, but he also has just an amazing physique. I thought at the Arnold where he placed 5th, I think, and honestly, I had him 3rd at the Arnold. I would have flip-flopped. I would have kept Steve Kuklo at 4th, and I would have flip-flopped him and Big Ramy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Big Ramy's Mr. Olympia now, but Sergio's physique looked great. He has great separation, and his posing ability is awesome.
And you know what? Sergio's doing it the right way. He's picking his shows. He's not burning himself out. Because he's not young, as we were talking, he's not young. He's not getting younger. So you know what? He's picking his shows, and you know what? Every show he picked at this point, he made a good decision. You know, I still remember when him and Alex were fighting out. I think was it Chicago 2 years ago? Like they were going back and forth. I think it was the Chicago show. Is it Alex Rivera, something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I see that's popping in my head now.
Hold on a second. What year was it?
Is it 19 or 18? I got it. Because I remember if they were both on stage together, and I mean they were just for at least 5 minutes going back and forth.
Oh, Michael Lockett won it, and Sergio placed 2nd to him.
That's true.
The Pro was Michael Lockett. It was a different show
Different show. Okay.
But yes. Anyway, I think Sergio, to me, I love his physique, and and I think he's something to watch. He makes the sport exciting and
more fun. Yeah.
But Akeem, if Akeem does that show, Akeem is a guy who. He's got all the tools, man. I mean, that guy.
Akeem, I mean, I'm telling you, if Akeem nails it, it's going to be a hard guy to beat.
Yeah. He's someone who can, if he shredded, and he's working with Justin Miller this year.
Yeah.
When he gets to the Olympia stage, if he is shredded at his best, he's someone who can stand next to Big Ramy.
I was about to say that.
Not look small, and
no.
In my personal opinion, he has got better proportions than Ramy. Still got the freak factor. His arms are the most freakiest arms right now.
For sure. Yeah, his arms, his legs are
Yeah, he's enormous. Anyway, so I guess that's probably it for the New York Pro review.
No problem. So we're good.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Man, I appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Yeah, for sure. I was I was a pinch hitter. So I came in and pinch hit. So that's what I did.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Man, I had a couple of Mr. Olympias lined up, and they we'll see what happens.
Me. It's all right.
Yeah,
no problem.
That's okay. You're all right. Man, when I think of Mr. Olympia, I always think of you anyway because we spent like four years there at
4 years
Bikini.
there, I know, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. What do you have, or what's going on for you right now, Greg? You're
Oh,
training people?
right now, I'm training people, and I'm training people and all that. Even though in Quebec, like COVID made it like really hard for us because gyms are closed and everything. But I'm training people, training myself, trying to keep busy, And I I hope that gyms open really soon. I don't know
Mm.
when because we don't know because here in Quebec, vaccination started, so it's not too bad. So I don't know, maybe in a month or so, I don't know. But on my side, I'm going good. I'm training well, I mean, I'm taking it day by day, that's fun. People around here are good too. And no, I mean, considering what's on in the world, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good. Awesome. Stay on for a second. I'm going to wrap up this, but that
Okay,
one.
no problem. No problem. No
right.
problem. All right.
Thanks. So, guys, thanks for watching. This is Michael Bryson and Greg Ulysse, and this is Bodybuilding. See you around.